Liftoff and the clock has started.
Goal.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Vobes show with the lovely Julia.
And the lovely Richard.
It's very nice to see you. Well, not that we can actually see you, but it's very nice of you to see us. And it's nice of you to come in and do the show with me, Julia.
It's lovely to be here.
It is lovely.
With you on the show.
Yes, with me. Me, all flowers, and you like colours.
Chickens.
Chickens?
Checkers.
Checkers.
Speaking of
Checkers.
The vintage news turned up for 10:30 at High Street Car Park in Pulborough. Was it on Sunday or did you go on Saturday?
Yeah, which day did you go for? If you turned up at 10:30 on Saturday, you would have seen a mass of Vobes fans. A mass. There was 400. You wouldn't have found a parking space in Pulborough, in Petworth, anywhere in Sussex, to be honest with you. It was jam-packed.
Yes, there was actually 2 walking groups meeting at that car park.
Oh, you didn't go on the wrong walking group. Did you go on a different walking group? Oh, my goody art. That was the one to the Highlands. They were marching through the old Stane Street to London, then up the North Road, up to Edinburgh, and then over to the Highlands. And I'm amazed that you've got back. Maybe you're still walking.
Oh, sorry about it, Vintage News. They went Sunday. They went Saturday, evidently.
Oh.
By that response.
Ah. Yes.
Yeah, we alternate Sunday and Saturday, but
It's-
we missed a month in between, so it was Saturday then Saturday. So
Yeah.
I can see how you got confused. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that. We're really sorry, and we will refund your money. How do you refund nothing? You can't, because we didn't charge. The only people who are down
No,
on
but that's
that
such a shame.
is, of course, the Pulborough Council, who got £1.50 from everyone for parking their cars.
Yeah.
Unless, like Sean James Cameron, you came by train. And then
Or by
boat.
train replacement.
Yes, or train replacement bus service. Exactly. Anyway, welcome to the Monday edition of the show. It's nice to be here. Of course, we met many of you. Familiar names out there have now got ugly faces attached. I mean,
Like this one.
Yes, that's it, like mine.
And this one.
And this one. So all the fuglies were together. What? No. We had a lovely time. It
There
was
was
lovely
lots
to.
of beautiful, wonderful, lovely, darling faces.
Why
out
didn't they
there.
come on the walk then? That's
Shut
a
your
shame.
face,
I'm
fatty.
only
Oh,
joking.
blimey.
I'm only joking in the way that where's everybody going? Why have they all switched off?
Oh, why are they dropping like flies?
Yeah, why are we losing the audience? What's going on? Is somebody upsetting them? I can't imagine whom. Blimey.
Who would do such a thing?
Yeah, we haven't had Richard Suggett on the show for a long time. Anyway,
Oh, don't you pick on Suggett.
I'm sorry.
Don't you dare.
No, he's a lovely bloke, and he chose actually a very good walk for everybody. That was his idea to do the walk, and
Everyone was thanking me for having arranged it and organised it. I didn't actually. It was all you and Suggett, wasn't it?
yeah, and Mr. Suggett, old Richard there, he suggested the thing. He showed me a video of somebody else doing it. I said we better do a video of us doing it, make it a bit more interesting. And actually, what really worked well
Yeah.
was to do a video of the walk so that people in advance could see what the terrain was like beforehand.
Yeah,
and
that was good.
Make the judgment of we're definitely not going on that.
Apparently my mic volume is low.
Oh, is it?
Low.
Let me just have a little look here. Is it pointing at you? Yeah.
Pretty
Is
much.
it plugged in? Yeah. Is the gain up? Hang on. Which one are you? Speak a few words now.
Speaking a few words now.
I've whacked your gain up.
Thanks.
I won't do it
No
again.
wonder I've put on weight. Jackie HW says G-Ramps should get a star prize for travelling from Weston-super-Mare.
Yes, he must have travelled the furthest, I reckon.
I think so, yeah.
In an electric car.
Yes.
Scare electric, it was. We never actually heard if he got back. Is he out there in the audience, or is he still travelling?
I haven't seen his name pop up, but then we haven't done a roll call yet.
Oh no, we haven't done the roll call. I'm figuring that we may have to go and do that. I wonder if the microphone on to the side of studio
Is it working?
It should be. It should be. No one's. Oh wait a minute. You said to me you'd accidentally touched some of the controls.
Yes, because I'd noticed after last show on Friday that there was a fair bit of bubble splatter on this here. What do you call this? A mixing desk.
A mixing desk. Hang on.
Hey,
We'll
check
show
me
the
out
audience
getting
what that
you.
looks like. There we are. Look, this is the technical aspect of the
I don't
thing.
know if you can see there's still some bits of bubble.
Bubble wrap.
Not bubble wrap. So I basically cleaned that bit, or tried to, and then I went down here, but I'd nudged all of these.
Oh, that's probably my EQ. Look.
I did try and match them up to what the others were roughly doing.
Yeah, I'm probably a bit high on the top, as they say.
Bit high on the top.
Yeah, the old, and you're probably a bit high on the top. That's it. Oh, that's actually the phone people.
No, I'm low
You're
on the
over
bottom
there.
actually.
Yeah, low on the bottom. No, that looks okay. It's
Good.
It's all pretty good.
But I didn't bother trying to go in between once I'd realised how easy they turn. Easily.
Yeah, easily,
So,
lady.
I'll have to,
easily.
I'll have to pre-warn you and actually give it a proper clean up sometime. And not aim my bubbles on it. Speaking of bubbles.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the roll call.
Roll call.
Roll call. I always hope that sounds all right. I just switched the button. Who knows? Are you going to go over to the other lovely side and have a look?
I can. I was going to bring a skipping rope to skip across the other side. But
I wouldn't skip in here. You know that the floor is already dipped.
da
and
boing, da boing.
we may disappear through it.
Yeah.
Audio is perfect. Move on and stop playing with your knobs, says Sean Cameron. He thinks he's in producer mode. Right, okay, here we go with Across the Room music. Oh, enough of this. Enough already. Enough of that gay banter. Right, okay, that's the getting across.
Ferret banter.
Yes, the ferret. Oh, hang on, I got to turn on your pheromones.
Turn on me microphone.
Right, it's a bit far from your face. Yes, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, just for those in the know, Julia and I went to Wiltshire in a van, and we made some videos with a camera, and also I've edited them with a computer, and then I had to record a bit of a voiceover with a microphone. Happened to be that microphone, which, funnily enough, I took into the bedroom. No, not like that. Because the bedroom has more, what did you call it?
Soft furnishings to capture the sound, so it gives you a bit of a muffle, so you just hear the crisp voice here and none of the echo or anything like that.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So I've huddled under the bed covers going, in 1934, 3 men climbed a small rock, and their names were Glim Glam Clobberdiggly. Unfortunately, the audio was inaudible, so I did something else. Anyway, that's just a by the by, because it is now time for the roll call!
The roll call.
Over to you, lovely Julia.
Tonight, on this lovely Monday, is it Monday?
Yeah.
Gosh, Monday evening, we have in the house Mark Burgess, Daniel Watkins, Sean James Cameron, Judith. Mwah. Good evening, all.
Evening.
Also here is Kerry Baldwin, Colonel Craig Ratty, Anna Jones, and Jackie H.W. Hi, everyone. Yes, we really enjoyed the walk too, despite Sky needing a bath when she got home. Oops. Sky is a very... Oh, we've seen her in the show before. That beautiful golden retriever. Blonde golden retriever.
Quick question. Does Sky ever read the newspaper? The paper? Because you could get the Sky News.
Wap, 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 wow, 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 wow. Anywho, we also have Ray of Hope, and Linda Kane has arrived. Evening all for the third time. Why do I keep disappearing? I don't know, Linda. Why do you keep disappearing?
Flaky. That's what she is. Flaky.
She's anything but flaky, is our Linda.
That's true.
I said Colonel Grograt. Ooh, you get another mention. Station Master's Choice, Monday again. Where does the time go? Forgive the lack of personal hellos. Too many of you to type all. So greetings, one and all. Hope you are well, and thanks to those who popped into my premiere. I'm sorry to miss your premiere, but yeah, likewise. Hello, everyone.
Was that a hotel?
No, not
the
Premiere Inn.
Oh, okay. Beg your pardon.
Silly. And we also have in the house Alison O'Brien, Audrey Forbes Hamilton, The Vintage News, Mott Mott. Hello to all. Hello, Mott Mott. Clive Waterfall and Kathy B. Hello. Sean James Cameron, cracking open a new packet of custard creams.
You'll get fat!
Custard creams. Ernie Samat. Evening, Richard. Gorgeous weather we've had lately, and forecast for more. Fantastic. Who else is here? We have Henry V. Agincourt, and I said that wrong, didn't I? Oh, well. Kerry Baldwin, I said, Woody Jenny, hello to you all building our collective strength of togetherness, eh? Yes, something like that. Who else is here in the house? The lovely Michael White. Can't forget Michael White. I said Clive Waterfall. Joanna Jones, Sensible Paul. Andrew Norris, say Vobsters. Patrick Brooks. Julia has lost her voice. Oh, yes, that was the mic problem over there, wasn't it? Sensible Paul. Turbo Stream. Good to see you about, Mr. Turbo Stream. Jeff and Mandy. Glyn Horton. Who else have we got here? Oh, it just skipped. Rick Gordon of Gordon, Ellis and Steele. Flappy Goose. Jonathan Fox. Claude Schwartz. Who else is here? Kathy B is also here. In her own capacity. Josephine Suter, a muffle in the bedroom. Yes, a muffle in the bedroom. Did you get to the point of that story?
What point?
Of the fact that you took this in the bedroom?
Yeah, I told them.
Oh, yeah, you lost the little thing.
Yeah, no, that was real life. I told them about having to record the voiceover using the microphone. I've told them the whole story.
Okay.
I didn't tell them that I lost the end of the plug, and when I went to clean the duvet later, that I ended up with it in the washing. Well, I nearly ended up with it in
You
the
weren't
washing.
sure, were you?
No, it ended up under my bed, and just before the show, we had a slight panic in which I had to take everything off the bed, the mattress, and all of that, and to find a tiny little plug, adapter plug that changes a small jack to a large jack. There we are. Jack it in, over to Julia.
Sorry, but that was far more detail than was necessary. I didn't need to mention that then, did I? Ho-hum. And Cheryl Cragg says, I'm here. Hello, darling. Mwah. Dave Ivad is in the house. Enjoyed your premiere earlier. I did, he says to Bernie, a.k.a. Station Master's Choice. And who else is in the house? Anyone else joined us? Edward Moulding. Enjoyed the pictures from the walk. A bit too far to travel, and my car was already in Worthing.
Yeah.
Confused. Sorry. Cheryl Craggs actually says, I'm here on my PC practicing using OBS. Ooh, more videos coming from you soon, I hope. I was noticed. Hurrah, said Flappy Goose. Yes, he was noticed. Daniel Watkins. Julia, did you forget me? No, I thought I said Daniel Watkins. If I didn't, sorry, darling. Paul Cockerill. Hi. And Toby Larone. Aha, I see what you did there. Evening all, do I get
Toby
a hello?
Larone.
Yes, you do, because you popped in just in time for the roll call.
All on his own, triangular viewer. That's Toby Larone. Oh, right, brilliant. Okay, Julia, I think we'll get you back in the seat whilst we've got the opportunity.
Excellent.
Over you come, love. Not getting my rhythm very well here. Fade.
I sat on a ferret.
You sat on a ferret.
Yep.
There we are. Get my knobs back in order. What they don't
Leaning on a ferret.
What they don't realise, ladies and gentlemen, I mean lovely Julia, is what they don't realise is when that music comes out, we can't hear it in here because it will get feedback down the microphone. So we're dancing like this.
Not knowing whether we're in rhythm
tune,
or not.
with it on, we don't know. But we try to make it look good. And there's a bit of vision mixing going on, which is very crude and crap. Never mind all that nonsense. On the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have Ray of Hope with another magical tune from the movies. Bernie has been out discovering more about the Rother. Turbo is going in style, steam travel. Colonel Cragratty has been to Amberley Steampunk, bit of a theme there. And poor old John Fox has run out of steam. You'll see why. Bit of a tragic story with John, actually. So hang around for that, but get your hankies ready. So that's what we've got lined up. Of course, we've got your delightful contributions and phone calls, which...
Sorry, we also have a loop video.
We also have a loop video.
London Loop.
Yeah, that came in earlier in the week, didn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Friday.
Did he just tell you that?
Yes.
Yes. What, no loop video? No, none of that rubbish. Yes, we do have a loop video, and that's what I was going on to say, is that's what we're going to watch...
First?
Next. No, we can't watch that, because do you know what?
You've got to do something with it.
No, I've deleted it. I've deleted it. Not on purpose. Sean, not on... I'm going to go and find wherever the...
It should still be valid, shouldn't it?
It should still be valid. Hang on, I've got to go to This is classic television.
In the meantime, I shall...
you tell them a story.
We have some late comers. Lord Jeffrey Harrison. How did you miss my name? Are we watching Week Rewind? I didn't see your name. So
Watching a rewind. Lord Jeffrey, he wasn't here.
Anyway, he's here. Elaine Whitelock.
Yes.
Hi, I'm late, but now here, so hi.
Ah, it's very nice to see Elaine Whitelock.
We also have Alan Sandell greeting us today.
Ah, and yes, well, if you haven't met us on this one, if it's possible to meet us on the next walk, then take my advice. Do. Come along. We're not yet decided where the walk is going to be, do we? No. We actually haven't had a moment to ourselves to think about it since then. Because, as you may be aware, we came back from Wiltshire, we did the walk. You went home and met up with your children.
Yep.
who were away with the in-laws and your hubby, and I've been in the zone editing stuff. You won't have got a video today.
No, but you have been working hard making them.
I've got
editing them.
2 lined up now, ladies and gentlemen. 2 lined up just for you. And you. And you. And you.
And you.
No, not him. But them, they can have it. Who else? He's all right, but I wouldn't. No, she looks a bit dodgy. So, some of them. Oh, we'll let everybody watch it. Come on, let's be fair. So, of course, Sean James Cameron from London has been doing the London Loop. And he's gone to Footscray, wherever that is. It might be the hospital, something to do with his gout, I'm not sure. But shall we find out?
Yes.
Let's go into the video box and see if I can wing it. We'll see.
Look at this, you can actually see the fish. It's so clear. What a beautiful bridge. One up the steps to go down if you wanted to go and have a dip. So there's the Penny Farthing Bridge down there, and look, there are walks all over the place. You could spend just a day in this park, I would imagine. Now, I'm not going down there. I'm keeping to the left. I'm going this way. And it is very reassuring to see the London Loop signs. I was just about to say, we might see the parish, the All Saints Church parish of Footscray. And there it is. The only problem with these information boards are they're very good, but if it's a sunny day, it's very difficult to read. Plus, it's very hot. When I came out of the bushes with the camera, I think a few drivers thought I was with a speed gun because they slowed down really, really sharpish. So here we are in the churchyard. Look how beautiful that is. So just within the churchyard, this is nice. They've kept a patch and they're doing a wildflower project. No, on this occasion it's closed, so we can't go in to have a look. All Saints Church marks the entrance to Footcray's Meadow and the start of the Cray Riverway. Thought to have been a site of worship since Norman times, it was one of the most beautiful churchyards in the area. So the church is down the bottom there, and now it looks like we're going to enter the village called Footscray. Look at this attractive cottage at the start of the village. It's just opposite the school, and the school has got a clock tower. Now I started at 9 o'clock and the time now is 7:05. Right, well obviously they need to get their clock sorted out. The actual time is 11:30. I've just checked. That's not bad when I've had to stop and do filming. I like these old school buildings. Just before we go into the village, look at this house, beautiful. I just love the colours and the plants and everything about it. The only problem is it's on a really busy road, and that's where I'm about to go to now. It's down to this crossroads. I'm in this village, and it's a very busy village, so what I've decided to do is, once I get to the next field, I'm definitely going to have a sit down and have a proper break.
A proper break, that's what you need, Sean. After a long walk, it's lovely to go and have a sit down, a nice glass of water, a tankard of beer, big sandwich, and a frolic in the hay.
Yeah, don't forget the frolic.
Frolic in the hay. That's what I always do, much to the annoyance of farmers in the area. But there you go. That's
Yeah,
what
ever wondered how the crop circles happen?
Yeah, it's me, frolicking. And when I've finished with my frolic, I take it off and hang it up. And I always like to keep my frolics up
So that's
there.
what happened to that dress I wore here that one time for the show.
Anyway, thank you very much, Sean. Lovely to see the London Loop there, all primed up, ready to go, as if nothing had gone wrong. Lots of interesting comments, Julia.
Yes. Lots of people showing lots of love for the video. For one horrible moment there, I thought the writing on that gate said, "I am the insurrection." Indicating disappointed the church wasn't open. Jackie HW loves the music.
That's the trouble in London. They don't open the churches because there's obviously a lot of churchgoers.
Colonel Cragratty says, "Sean, it was a pleasure to meet and chat with you on Saturday." And someone else said that he looks just the same 2D as he does in 4D. 3D. I meant 3D.
Yeah.
4D.
That's nice. We've had an email in. I thought I'd read this out in tonight's show because it's only come in 16 minutes ago. And as I was just about to close the email account down, I thought, oh, this is charming. It says it's from Leslie in Canada, and it says, "Hello, Richard. I've always hated your videos. They're just so awful."
Read it properly, please.
Oh, sorry. He says, "As you're not on air daily now," well, you know, maybe, let's see how it goes. We're doing a bit of a test. He says, "I miss my early morning fix of England and your cheery chat. So as I did last winter, starting in February, during the long, dark and cold days here in Alberta, Canada, during lockdown, I've been watching the amazing choice and variety of your archive videos and enjoying them again. When I was a child, living in Lancing Park, the last bungalow on the left beside the Twitten in Lancing, you must know that one well. No. 1953 to 1958. Oh, yes, I remember that because I wasn't yet born. Dad and Mum would take my younger sister and myself out in the car on occasion to a pub. Do you remember those days when you'd go with your parents to the pub?
No, get on with it.
All right. I'm just saying, it brings up reminiscence.
Yes,
I can't remember when my mum...
It's a lovely email, especially when read in one whole thing.
Yes, I'm just sort of relating it to the audience.
Yes,
remembering...
you're narrating it.
Yes, whatever.
Sorry.
Berating it. No, I'm not.
No.
We would be outside if the weather was good, outside a pub that is, or in the back of the car with a Coke and a bag of crisps. My parents never took me to a pub like that. It's a shame. If it was cold and wet, whilst they had a pint. So I watched the video on Folking today, done in 2017. Yeah, probably. It was a long time ago. The Shepherd and Dog was a favourite of my sister and myself. It had amazing nooks and crannies to explore, with water everywhere. The pub had the most amazing back garden with high terraced gardens, up the hill with a stream running through it. An absolute joy for us kids. I wonder if that garden or any remnants of it are still there, and if any of your viewers remember it also. Well, I know we used to go to the Shepherd and Dog when I was a kid, but now when I've gone there, they've built this great big open barn so that they can do meals outside. But I think they'd done that before the COVID lockdowns. I think it was just by happy chance they happened to have it. It is a lovely place. Anyway, he said, "I enjoyed the first of the visit to Wiltshire videos with you and Julia. You seem more relaxed and obviously enjoying yourselves. So maybe slowing down the daily productions is a good idea. Thank you, Richard, for all you do for us viewers and for caring about your craft. All the best to you both." From Leslie in Canada. So there, yeah, that was lovely. Thank you so much, Leslie. That's right. I don't know whether Leslie
really
watches the show, but
I don't know whether Leslie is male or female, because it could be either, can't it?
it could be either Vicky Verkey. You know what
Thank
they
you
say.
very much.
That's marvellous news. So Paul Cockrell says, "There is in my part of London." Good. And Sean James Cameron says, "Many thanks to everybody about his video. Really
Parrots,
nice.
I think parrots in the part of London.
Parrots?
The green parrots. Really nice video, Sean. Is there the green parrots in that part of London?
What, the birds? The
Yes,
parrot, not
yes.
the pub?
No, the parrots. There are basically loose parrots that, well, they're obviously breeding and feral and free now.
Loose about the hoose.
Loose.
Loose about the hoose. Well, I never knew that.
I'm trying to remember what actual breed they are, but
Is it
yes.
like the cockatoos that you get? The parakeets?
Parakeets. That's what I think they are.
Parakeets?
Yes.
We
Yeah.
got there in the end. Marvellous. Yeah, look, somebody else. Station Master's
Parakeets.
Choice. Parakeets.
Thanks, Bernie.
Yes. They're not native, are they? But they're becoming more
No.
native because lots of people have
They're
them.
not native, but they were accidentally released or lost from
In the post?
Yeah, no, from being pets.
Oh, I see. I thought maybe the postman
But
used to
there
send
must
off.
have been a big fad at some point where everyone was getting them. So
Are they all
let
the
them loose or something,
same-
like the terrapins or something? I don't know, because no other pet bird or something is.
The parakeet and terrapin shop, I noticed, has gone out of business since somebody left the back door open and all their products escaped. That was in the 1970s. The parrot and parakeet terrapin shop. It was a terrapin thing to happen, and the parrots were all over the place. Anyway.
The parrots ate 'em all.
Yes, ate 'em all. I heard that there is a panther in Pulborough, said Sean James Cameron. You
No.
believe that, you believe anything.
A puma,
It's a puma.
actually.
Clive Waterfall says, yes, family pub visits in the car as kids. We would all sit in the car park with our drinks. Half a Guinness for Dad, schooner of sherry for Mum, and a baby sham for me. I'll have a baby sham. Remember those adverts? Remember?
No, I don't know.
No, that was some big burly bald bloke with muscles went in and no one would buy a baby sham. I don't even know what baby sham is.
Yeah, you told me about it.
Yeah.
It's
Like a champagne, but
yeah.
not as many bubbles. Is that what it is? Jackie HW says, loads of parakeets in Banstead, where we used to live. Beautiful, but not great to live next to them. I
No.
bet they're noisy.
Yeah, I reckon they are.
Every morning, are they demanding their breakfast and a cuppa with it?
I wonder if they imitate.
Put the kettle on! Put the kettle on! Mark! Put the kettle on! Mark!
Wow. I wonder if they imitate like car alarms and house alarms.
Can you
and
imagine it?
Sirens and things. That would
Come
be
out with
interesting.
your hands up! This is the police! Mark! This is the police! Mark! Mark! You are arrested! Maybe.
Maybe.
Could be done on holiday.
Paul Cockrell says baby sham is Perry, I think.
Perry.
What's that?
Is that a cider? A
Oh,
cider,
Mark
innit?
Burgess also says that, and so does Station.
Baby sham is
Station
a
Master's Choice.
cider. Is it made?
Oh,
is it,
made from pears.
Is it sort of sparkling cider made from pears? There's G Ramps. Hello, everybody. He says, hope everyone's suitably recovered from Saturday's walk. Yes,
Yes, just about.
Just about. Thank you very much. I've managed to recover. Now, talking of walking, something we all take for granted if you're able-bodied. If you're not, of course, then you probably don't. But if you are, what would happen if you suddenly lost what would
Use
happen?
of your legs.
Thanks. If you couldn't speak properly, well, you'd get somebody in like Julia to finish your sentences. This is some rather nasty thing that apparently, I'm guessing, can happen to anybody at any time, because we have a viewer who would be the last person you would think would have the problem with the lack of using their legs. Want to find out more?
Yes.
Of course. Here we go. Not Sean James Cameron. You see, that's the trouble with this game. If you put the wrong video in the wrong... No, wait a minute. Where is it? Hang on a minute. I can't...
Hold on. Hold your horses.
Videos.
Look at this,
Where
you can
is
actually
he?
see the fish.
Yes, we saw the fish. Sorry about that. I've just ruined the whole thing. That was such a lovely introduction. And because it came in late, that loop video, it came in at the last minute last week. And it's because I had to do it on the fly. Of course, I forget to turn it off in OBS. Here's a hint to Cheryl, who's learning OBS. Don't follow my actions, because I'm rubbish at it. Right. So what I was trying to say is, here's Jonathan Fox with his story.
I just thought I'd record this as a record of my experience and ongoing experience, as I have a suspected trapped nerve in my back. I managed to find some capacity to move around a little, so this is kind of Wednesday morning with the aid of a frame. And but basically my right leg, I'd say I had not 50% use of, something slightly less than that. My left leg was just a dead weight. It could do nothing. So you can imagine how, it was basically I couldn't walk. So obviously now I'm standing Thursday morning. I'm just going to demonstrate how I walk. I have an appointment with an osteopath today, and to work on my back, and we'll see how that goes and how any improvement might go. So let's just demonstrate how I manage as today on Thursday. So I'm with an osteopath who's a friend of mine, Venetia. Do you mind saying hello, Venetia?
Hello.
Yeah. So Venetia is working on everything that she finds on my back. Perhaps you could just a moment of brief description.
Rib 3 and 4 particularly jammed, and the thoracic erector spinae very tight around there. The lower back and the QL seem pretty normal.
It's now Friday afternoon, and the improvements continue. The way I see this is that I had a trauma in which I think the nervous system into my legs were basically reset to like a factory default. So I completely forgot how to stand and walk. And it's amazing because I feel like the right thing to do is to practice. And I've been, walking up and down the garden with the frame and, in the living room. And I'm a bit wobbly without the frame, but I can, with reasonable confidence, do a bit of walking without it. So I might stumble a little bit, but I'm going to show you how that goes. Now, a bit risky, but I think it's all right. I'm all right. Didn't quite go to plan, did it?
Well,
Bless
what
your
about
cotton
that?
frock and your socks too. Oh, what a thing to go through. But you're doing so well. Just keep at it. You'll be running before long, we hope.
Well, we certainly do. I'm afraid, of course, I watched you climb up the stairs on your hands, and I think it was about a year ago, just over a year ago during the lockdown, I just had a slip disc and I couldn't get up and down the stairs not a slip disc, I just had pulled a muscle in my back, and it's so easy to do. And I tried to make videos, and one day I could barely walk, and minor compared to your situation. But I just watched you climb up the stairs and thought, the poor sod's got to get down to turn the camera off.
Oh no, I didn't even think about that.
I thought he's got to look out. He's going, oh, crikey, I've got to go down and turn the camera off before the battery runs out or I run out of data. How awful. But, you know, somebody who loves to run...
it's really hard to watch that, knowing that you are a runner. And...
The irony of it, you know, it couldn't have happened to a nicer bloke. I mean, it couldn't, you know, nobody wishes it on anybody.
No.
And I know that I've had a debate with people before about, would you rather lose an eye or a leg? And I would rather lose an eye than a leg. Because with one eye, I can get about. And with both legs, obviously, I can get about. But as soon as you start losing mobility, I think it's, you know, so debilitating. So, yeah, wishing you...
But glad that you are all right and that you're doing well. And thank you so much for recording that.
Yeah,
You know,
we look forward to the progress in part 2.
Yes.
And because I was thinking, well, this is whilst we were away down in Wiltshire, having the time of our life, gallivanting about, running after horses, running up and down hills.
I had a lot to do instead of running around after Jojo.
Yeah.
I love him a lot, but it was nice to be running around for
Come
myself for a change.
And then, of course, meanwhile, in another part of the world, there you are suffering all of that. So we do wish you well. Yeah, that was really good. Lots of well wishes going out to you in the comments at the moment. Sean James Cameron says, that's why I don't exercise. Well, the thing is, this is why it's so important to look after yourself because, and of course, as John has shown, even a fit person, things can happen to. But if you try and alleviate all the potential problems that will happen to you, you know, I think of people who sit down in an office all day, and then you look at them walking and they can barely move, they don't stretch, their fluidity is limited, and it doesn't really take that much to keep your body like a machine, well oiled, but people don't, do they?
Yeah, I mean, you have to have motivation and...
Well, I know, yes.
The inclination.
Yes, granted...
Those things can be very hard, but...
Yes,
yeah.
I'm not saying that's not... I'm not saying it's not difficult.
But it's worth it if you can.
That's exactly it. I'm just saying that I think people think that their bodies will just carry on if they don't bother to maintain them. But they understand that a car won't, or a washing machine will need a service, and that stretching... Just simple things. I'm not talking about doing a John Fox and going running. I'm talking about simple things like stretching, reaching down, touching your toes, trying to touch the ceiling. You know, getting the stress out of your stuff. I just think that's important to do. And today I was editing most of the day, 6 hours editing, which will be Thursday's video, number 3. And I was having to get up every 20, 30 minutes and go in the kitchen, just move about. You know, I can't sit still.
No.
I'm lucky because I went to mime school and we learnt about articulations of the body and moving and things like that. And now I try where possible. I know I slouch in my videos when I'm filming, but I try to keep things fluid in my body, and I just think that's important.
There are a few good comments here. Patrick Brooks says, broke my leg last year, had a cast for 5 months. I blame it on the lockdown last year. The Veg Grow podcast says, strange things happen when I run.
Yes, I've got to keep well clear of him when he's running.
David Vad says, is it possible to be too fit? I was thinking about that. I think the only reason you can be too fit is that if anything does go wrong and then you have to take rest, it's that much of a marked difference between... Does that make sense?
Well, we know that athletes seem to suffer. You know, people who do anything to an extreme is not good anyway, is it?
No, true.
And we know that many athletes suffer because they've pushed themselves too much. But in John's case, I mean, he's athletic, but he's not training for the Olympics the nth degree.
Yes.
So, but I would think it would be detrimental to be too fit.
Well, I suppose
you've got to find that.
If you think about ballerinas and stuff, and the effort and the strain that they put their feet and their legs through, you know, as at a professional level, doing shows all week or what have you, they kind of have to retire quite early.
Yes. I mean, the thing is, when you're a baby, everything is movable, isn't it? And as you get
bendy
older,
and flexible, and
everything stiffens up and things harden. But you still have some flexibility. And you look at some dancers who perhaps are not the extreme ballerinas and stuff, but they can still move. Even Bruce Forsyth, when he was elderly, could still just about dance.
He still had the moves, didn't he?
And I think that's very important, that you've got to keep going. The body doesn't like being sedentary, and that is the thing that people find then, that it is very difficult to either lose weight or to keep fit, or that they get out of breath because they just spend too much time sitting, because we never did as a an ancient species.
Yeah.
Life wasn't. We didn't have the luxury, did we?
No. Sean James Cameron says we should launch the Bald Explorer Slimming Group.
I'm no expert in that. I've got loads of opinions, but I wouldn't take my advice.
Flappy Goose says basic yoga is the best thing to do. You don't have to be super bendy. There's also a very slow form of martial arts, which I think they...
Snails do that, don't they? It's called run.
What's it called? You know, when they're just moving through the motions really slowly. And
I think anything that keeps you moving.
I did like 2 sessions of it, and then I actually... Tai Chi! Thank you, Cheryl. Of course, Tai Chi. Do you remember that time, Cheryl, when I went for two sessions of it in Leon the Solent, and then I passed out. I was still having a lot of eating disorders at the time, so it's not surprising, really. But yeah, I really would love to have gotten into that more. But I got put off because I've passed out. Tai Chi. Yeah.
Richard Suggett from the Veg Grower podcast says, I used to exercise more before I started podcasting. Used to go kickboxing 5 days a week in my peak.
Nice.
And now he's kicked the habit. Fun fact, says Sean James Cameron, the ashes of Bruce Forsyth are buried under the stage of the London Palladium in London. Interesting. I mean, how many people can claim to do that? Some say that they die when they're on stage. Some say they die during a show. He's buried under it. That is amazing. Lord Jeffrey says, how come we watch the Vobes show while we are running? How can we watch the Vobes? Anyway,
don't know. Have you got a
running machine? Working an allotment keeps you fit, says Turbo Stream. I'm sure that's true. All that bending down, as long as you're working the body correctly and not, bend your knees. All of that malarkey. Off Track Wanderer says, what do you think about elderberry hawthorn? This will keep us healthy. Also, when will be the best time to pick them? I think you've got the wrong show there. You'll have to ask Mr. Suggett, won't you? The elderberry, what is it? Hawthorn.
I've heard someone say that recently, and I've never heard of elderberry hawthorn before now. So I don't know what that is. Is it an elderberry or is it hawthorn? Because as far as I know, they're 2 separate things.
Is it a species
it confuses me.
that has been crossed by special breeders?
Maybe. Trev's Travels by Narrowboat says, boating keeps me moving.
Yeah, because he rows his narrow boat like the Vikings down the avenues, the watery avenues of this country, raping and pillaging as he goes, setting the chimney pots on fire and feeding the women to the pigs.
Dave Vivad says, I don't think Brucey is the only one. Having said that, I actually have heard of a ballerina who she was still, I don't know if she's still around, hopefully she is. She was 70 and she was still actually, doing ballet, going up on point regularly because she was a teacher.
I know that a number of ballerinas have been buried upside down with just their legs sticking out so that they can...
No, you're thinking of synchronised swimmers.
Oh, is that what it is? Yes, I think you're probably right. Time for another video, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, elderberry and hawthorn jam, is that what they mean?
Oh, is that the jam?
Maybe. That's a suggestion from Veg Grower podcast.
Yeah, now you're talking. Bit of jam with all that sugar in it. That's going to be healthy. Do you like your Robin Hood?
I do.
We had a request the other day. Robin Hood,
Not that
riding through the glen. Well, this is a movie, and Ray of Hope has been on his magical keyboard. Now, please watch the figurines in this video.
A theme from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Let's try it.
Tried to fade you in towards the end because the lovely Julia was singing.
I didn't even realise. I saw you put the headphones on. I didn't actually realise what you're doing.
Well, I couldn't get the levels quite right, but brilliant stuff. Thank you very much, Ray of Hope.
That was fantastic. Thank you.
That was great stuff. And even I recognised that song. But I didn't get to the bit where it goes, Robin Hood, riding through the glen.
Well, thank goodness for that.
And so who was that? Bruce Willis? No,
Brian
Errol Flynn.
Adams.
Brian
Adams.
Brian Adams. Is he still around? Don't tell me. He might be buried under the Palladium for all I know. Everybody seems to be whizzing underneath it. Super stuff, says Henri Agincourt. Great Ray, says Kerry Baldwin. Apple looked like a Tesco's Brayburn, says Jackie Lowe, who knows all about what the Tesco's variety is. And weird interference of singing, says Davy Vad. Thanks.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Craig's interesting thoughts is, I thought it was Eric singing. Bloody cheap, that is.
Oh no, Eric's much better singing than
we don't
I
have any singing or banjo, ukulele playing.
Ukulele, no, because I did have a practice of it whilst we were in Yorkshire, didn't we?
In Yorkshire?
Wiltshire.
Oh, Wiltshire.
Good Wiltshire, but I've got a dry mouth.
Yes, you might see a tiny bit of I keep saying banjo. Ukulele playing in the videos because somebody thought it was a good idea to bring the sodding thing with her.
Yeah.
And somebody else had to suffer the consequences.
He's got to watch it. He's going to get a ukulele around the head. No, actually,
Too expensive.
too valuable to me.
So the
ukulele.
Veg Grow podcast is getting on the jam trail. Says the easiest jam to start with is raspberry, or as I like to say, raspberry. 500 grams raspberry, 500 grams granulated sugar, mix well and then boil until set. I thought that you had to have aspic in jams and marmalades. Do you not have to have a good aspect? You get onto the top of the jar and you look down and you go, that's a good aspect.
Snicker, snicker,
Snicker, snicker, snicker. Don't eat too many Snickers, that will be the thing.
or
Custard creams, Sean James Cameron, cut it out. No pectin.
Says Station Master's.
Yes, that's when the wife comes in and says, here, you, I'm a hen, pectin. Oh, the cliches. Yeah, the cliches are coming out. If you'd like to give us a call, you can. Why isn't that not doing its thing? That's funny. You can give us a call.
Sat on the ferret the other day. I sat on the ferret in the month of May. I sat on the ferret.
Sat on the ferret.
You are watching the Vobes show. Call us now on 0793 47 46 790. We're waiting to hear from you.
You were going to say the number, weren't you?
Yeah.
What is it?
0793 4746 790.
And backwards, that's 097 43970.
Don't know why you bother with that, but never mind.
And jumbled up,
funny.
that's 39449707.
Just jumbling them up a little bit more.
46.
Dubai Dozen is in the house. Evening all.
Hello, Monsieur le Dozen. I very pleased to say we had a lovely time at your house, as you know, and your mumsy, your lovely mumsy, has texted me to say she is sending Julia's dress back. It's in the post. She's posted it today.
Yeah.
It cost £3.85, and she said, please don't send flowers, money, bribes, coffins or anything.
You do go off on one.
I do go off on one.
Funny.
But she said that she's very pleased, and we shouldn't say that actually. But she has sent the dress that you
Excellent,
left
yes.
in a cupboard.
Yeah, I took a dress along in case we went out for a nice meal one evening, but we didn't.
And
it stayed in your wardrobe because your wardrobe was long enough. I say your wardrobe, the wardrobe in the room that you stayed in.
Yeah.
Because the wardrobe was longer and would take my long dress. Otherwise, it would be scrunched at the bottom.
Yeah, excuse me, Ollie.
So
I've got a bit more.
every day I would say to myself, don't forget the dress, don't forget the dress. I even said it the morning we left. And then I forgot the dress.
She forgot the dress. And I knew the address all along, otherwise we would have gone to the wrong house.
Stupid.
Turbo Stream says, I make chai jams. Just a small amount of fruit needed to stew down. Add chia seeds, no idea what they are, and honey.
Chia.
Chia
or
even.
chia?
Yeah, we don't know. Lasts about a week in the fridge. Ideal for small batches. So if you've got small batches coming round for a party, say here, little small batches, you little baskets. Would you like some chia jam? And I'm sure these little batches would go, oh yes, I'd love some. So feed them today. In the past, says, hello you two from North Norfolk. Love your videos. There we are. We love you too. Thank you very much. Nice to see you up there in North Norfolk. I did years ago. I made a video for a professional video for North Norfolk Radio, and I'm just trying to remember. I think we went to Cromer. Is that in North Norfolk? Cromer. The carpet man in Cromer was on North Norfolk Radio. Lovely bloke.
Val Pragnall says, hi Richard and Julia. Question, what's a ferret's favourite carnival ride?
Oh, that's an interesting thing. I think, is this a joke?
Yeah.
Oh, a favourite carnival ride. It's not the big totem, is it?
No, it's the Ferret's Wheel.
Oh, of course, the Ferret's Wheel. Why didn't I think of that? I was thinking of the big totem.
Yeah.
And I don't even think
Big
that's
totem?
Yeah, have you never been on the big totem?
No.
Oh, it's something well worth it. Linda Kane said, yeah, we believe that story. Did it suit you, dearie? It suited me. Thank you.
Cry for Joy says, greetings from Somerset.
I'm glad you read
I
that
can't
out
do
because I was going to go cry for joy.
Cry for joy.
Cry for joy. Greetings from
I
Somerset.
Somerset. I can't do it. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Somerset?
You can't do it.
It's nice down there in Somerset. You do a bit of G Ramps there. Hello, Richard. It's G Ramps here. I wonder if G Ramps is going to ring us, actually, on 07934746790. He's now looking, going, oh, God. I got to find the phone. I don't know where the phone is. Where's the phone? I don't want him to mangle his words when I talk to him. Incidentally, you know that thing you gave me? Don't spread a word. It may end up in a video.
Ah, yes.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about. Past was up Sheringham yesterday and drove through Cromer. Oh, how very nice. We tried.
Well done.
Yeah, we tried
You
to
know me, did a
read.
thing.
We tried to read that book about the bloke who wrote Tarka the Otter.
Oh.
What was his name? You know, on the
It's in here.
Listen
It's just
with Vobes.
buried somewhere.
And we tried to read it. He was up there setting up a Norfolk farm, and he went. I think he went to Cromer. Daniel Watkins says, on Saturday afternoon, I had a bit of an incident where I got the wrong bus, missed the bus, and I was going to get home, so I got the next one and didn't get home till 4:30.
Dope. Well, you still beat
I wonder if Ed
Loud.
Did he ever get home?
And Alex home because, they seemed to be on buses for a long time.
I think they're still on buses, to be honest with you. Ed Loud.
They got back at about 7 p.m, I think it was.
For those that don't know, Ed Loud turned up in a funeral suit.
No, but we did think he was going to start singing Go-Come.
Henry Williamson, that's the one. Henry Williamson, that was it.
Oh.
Anyway, nobody rang, so that was a lucky escape. We've got another video, but don't panic. We've been talking about buses just now.
Buses.
Well, there's another more elegant way to travel, and good old TurboStream, see how seamless this is?
Beautiful.
TurboStream has suggested steam travel would be the best. I think he's right. That's just like being on Murder on the Orient Express, isn't it? Yeah. Just waiting for the person to go around with a big knife and slice somebody's head off. There we are, TurboStream. Thank you so much. How marvellous. Although, we have to note there, of course, I was very observant. I thought that there seems to be a lot of water in the cylinders and kept the blowers on a bit long, I thought. And I noticed that Station Master's Choice agreed with me.
Yeah, apparently so.
Yeah, I know my trains. I think that was a 4-mark Hall, which is a great loco. Oh, Station Master's Choice agrees with me. How about that? Got away with that one. I think nobody
Yeah, nobody
noticed.
did.
Nobody noticed that. Lovely. The time is coming up to 9:03, which is a great time because it's at that time that we carry on with the show. We've had a lovely piece of music from Ray of Hope. We've seen the steam travel from Bernie. And, of course, we've heard about the tragic injury to John Fox. We have coming up in this half of the show, or this 3/4 of the show, we have Bernie on the rivers of Rother and Colonel Cragratty, also with a steam theme, but a bit of steampunking.
Yeah.
And we've seen some pictures of old Steampunky himself. But have we seen this one, I'm wondering? I can't remember if we've seen this, so I'm going to show it to you now. Here he is, Colonel Cragratty, 4 eyes himself, with a number of exciting implements on him.
The Ratty of Crag himself.
And doesn't he look very dapper?
He does indeed, doesn't he?
He does, actually. He looks very dapper.
Yes, very dapper indeed.
So I wonder what goes on in a steampunk show. Shall we have a look? Shall we have a look at the video?
Let's do it.
Well, I've got to find the appropriate...
Let's watch it when you're ready to show it to us.
Yes. That might be now?
Now. So
Yeah.
let's see it.
Yeah. Pressing button. I'm pressing the button now. What was his name? Pete. Oh, yeah.
Here we are today at Amberley Steampunk Fair with all sorts of stalls selling all sorts of steampunk equipment. Amberley is also a very interesting museum for all things old. Here we are towards the end of the day.
Ah, how lovely is that?
That was really nice.
Isn't that nice? There we are, down at the Amberley Chalk Pit Museum, which no doubt is open during the summer holidays. Great fun for the family and the children and the grown-up children who remember such things as that shelter at Fair... I can't remember what it was called. Fair Mile
Cafe.
Shelter Cafe. I remember that. We walked up from there, where it was no longer there, but as soon as I saw it, I went, yes, of course, that's what it looked like. Lovely little cafe. Never went to it, but passed it on the old A29, just down the road from from Whiteways, on the way to the other place where they have the pumpkin. Slindon. Thanks. Thanks very much. Yes, being just told all the words that I needed from the brain, funnily enough. So, yeah, thanks for sharing that, Pete. That looked really interesting.
Yeah, thanks.
And all the crazy characters and all that get-up that they wore looked lovely. So there we go. Jonathan Fox says, my late father worked in the museum print shop. Fantastic.
Nice.
Lovely to see those old, what do they call them? Flatten plate, Turbo will know the names.
Don't know. Yeah, he will.
What is it? Flatten plate printer or something? The old Heidelbergs. Pattern I can't remember what it's called now, because I only worked on the litho. I can't even remember what I worked on. Litho print. What was it called? Litho printing. Come to my amazing place. Thanks for showing it all the costumes, says Turbo Stream. Nice one. Colonel, says David Vad. Great video, Peter, says Daniel Watkins. And Kerry Baldwin says, thanks, Pete. That was indeed interesting, as it was.
I'd love to have a dress up and see what kind of character I could come up with.
Yeah,
steampunky.
we must design ourselves a steampunk character and go off with an ancient. I've got a Nagra.
Nagra?
But the doctor's given me some cream for it, so we'll be all right. No, I've got an old Nagra recorder, portable recorder. I should dig that out. That would be perfect, wouldn't it?
That would be quite funny.
We could go as.
I must admit, I did kind of a couple of months back actually. I did go on a fantasy shopping trip, and I picked out a hat and this, that, and the other, corset and things. Yeah.
You didn't actually buy it, though?
No, of course not. I don't have the money.
Oh, I see. When you said fantasy.
Fantasy shop, as in, it's in my head. I'm not actually shopping.
But fantasy for fantasy costumes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Platen, I think. The type trays I recognise from my early days as an apprentice, says TurboStream. Yes, platen, that's the word. Brilliant. Platen rolling.
I'd have never guessed that.
No. A dressograph, multilith, web offset printer, says Ray of Hope. I used to use a multilith. It was a 1250. It was it was a small one, but it was not a desk one. Multilith 1250 is what it was. Yeah, brilliant little machine. We used to do the parish magazine on it, and then at night, dang, with the stapler. 100. I can't remember how many thousand of these bloody things we had to do. Bang, bang. Collate them all up with these rubber tips on our fingers. Bang, bang. Oh, 3 or 4 hours.
Did you not have like ear mufflers or something?
No, we were men. Well, actually, it was.
You're men half deaf now.
Pardon?
Exactly.
Yes, and there was the lady, the wife of the MD, was helped. It was all hands to the pump. Don't forget the MEK, says Samuel Stream. Oh my God, the MEK! You never forget the smell of MEK and how it would waste your fingers away. It was the most more powerful than drain cleaner than anything you've ever seen. Get the rollers clean with a bit of MEK, especially when you've got to go from black to yellow, and you're there getting rid of all the ink, But you'd always start with, if you had to do white, I can't remember if we ever had to print in white, but you might have had to print in white on black paper or something. You'd start the day clean the machine if you were printing in
Yeah, to
white.
make sure there's no other colour on
Absolutely.
it whatsoever.
Or yellow, or any sort of very light colour.
Or any other colour.
Any other colour. And you'd always start the day with the lighter colours, and then you'd clean up, and then you get the next darkish colour until eventually you go into black.
Yeah, cool.
But it was interesting, and the smell of ink just immediately transforms me back to being a kid. Yeah, transmits me.
Do you want to read Alan Williams?
Let's have a look. Where is Alan? Alan Richard. Letterpress, platen print presses by Heidelberg and lithograph printing too. Absolutely. I worked as a security guard in London. I've done this in my story series. And I used to do, as a security guard, the patrol around the Heidelberg building in Brentford. Was it Brentford or Brentwood? Brentford, near Kew Gardens, that one. And it was a big old building, and they had in the showroom at the front these great big beautiful iron platen, as you just described them, letterpress platen print presses. Beautiful things. There was about 3 or 4 of them in what would look like a car showroom today, and these massive things. Behind that was the workshops. Above that was the sales and the offices, and they obviously were a German company but based in London. I don't know whether they're still there. And at night I had to go round in those days security involved, you didn't have digital, you couldn't just walk into a room and beep, zap something. You had this old-fashioned clock. When I say clock, really it was a roll of paper with a punch in it, and you would walk round. Every room had a key, and you would have to put the key into this thing, turn it, and it would punch a hole to prove that you'd been into that room at the time that you were supposed to. It was all part of the insurance policy. And so one of the places was upstairs in the office in the women's loo, of all places. But many of them were obviously in the front of the house and what have you. But some were in the very back, down in the back where the workshops were in some of these offices, and then the workshop itself. And the workshop was a much older building than the frontage. And at night, of course, the building settled and things creaked, and you're there on your own. It's just me at night, from 7 at night till 7 in the morning. And you're wandering around and you're switching the lights on, aware that if there's anybody who'd crept in, you were going to be a target. You know, they'd pick up a big hefty spanner and whack you on the bonce. And you didn't have any protective gear, you know, nothing like that. And you were expected to go down in the dark and turn the lights on. And sometimes the light switch was at the other end of the room. So I would sing. I would be singing at the top of my head as I did my round, which took about 20-25 minutes. I would sing, so if anybody was in there, they would hear me coming. I wouldn't surprise them by suddenly opening the door and they're going, "Oh, crikey!" bang him on the head. So they would hear me coming and have a chance to escape. And I theorised that if they knew I was coming, they probably wouldn't attack me because they could hide and then I would go, rather than surprising them and they'd panic. But one person had told me that this was on the site of an old plague pit, and at night you could hear the ghosts of the poor plague victims. And of course I was...
Did you do a Julia and fall for it?
Yeah, I felt... Well, kind of felt... I was like 20 at the time. And I was absolutely petrified. That's why I sang really loudly to take it off my mind. And any time bits of the building would creak, you know, I was the worst person to be a security guard, as you can probably imagine.
Have you seen this comment from Ernie Samat? At the Vobes show? Do you remember when you were at my house, the photos I showed you of how I looked in the 80s and 90s?
Oh, yes, I do remember those pictures.
Would he have fitted well in the steampunk thing?
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, you could well have done. It certainly had. He loved. Oh, he was very. Trying to think of the band.
Debonair?
Yeah,
No. What
not
band?
so much. No, I don't know. These bands that would have their hair set in a way and then have a white streak through it, and you know.
I remember that.
I can't remember, not specifically that, but I'm just trying to remember. He had lots of different images, and it looked like he'd gone supporting one band, and then the next day, oh, that's an interesting band, and went to a complete like Adam Ant. You know, Adam Ant was like really over the top.
Yeah, vaguely remember
Vaguely.
that.
They also dress up, didn't they, in costumes and things.
Yes, it was very pop at the time.
Sorry, Julia.
New
for your
romantics?
patience. Yes, probably. I don't know what new I don't even know what old romantics are like.
Cry for Joy says, Julia, did you ever return to Glastonbury? I remember in the Bold Explorer Glastonbury vid you saying you loved the place. That's because I do love the place, and no, I haven't been back. But in Wiltshire last week...
Who's got a big butt?
Shh. In Wiltshire last week, I saw some very lovely places. In fact, I commented at one... I can't remember where it was, in one of the villages, that it had a very Glastonbury feel, but a slightly, don't take offence anyone, a slightly upmarket feel.
Corsham.
Yes, that was it.
It was in Corsham. You looked down, you made me go back and look down through the gates into this
yes,
little...
it's like garden patio.
Yeah,
thing,
and you said,
know.
yeah, that's very Glastonbury.
Yeah.
And
But there was other little tiny little things that just...
I was expecting to see
made
an
me think of it.
oversized fairy with a dragon's head flowing from it with,
Yes, but there's more
the
than
blood of a virgin and a tree of hawthorns come from the stake of some geezer from
Yes,
the
but underneath
Holy
all
Land.
the kitsch stuff and the fantasy stuff, there is a certain feel to Glastonbury, which of course...
That was Lakeland. Wasn't it Lakeland? They had all that kitchen stuff.
Right, I just had to have a forehead face palm reset. Your money or your wife, says Michael White.
Yes, that was it. That was the Dick Turpin.
Human League?
And it's not the Human League, but that kind of thing. They're all Stand on Me Liver. Spandau Ballet. Yes, I always used to think that said... When they were a thing, I always used to think of them as spandex ballet. And I just thought that they were all singers who danced in spandex. That was a thing, spandex.
Yeah, it
you
was,
don't,
wasn't it?
Like Playtex.
It still is a thing now, spandex. Isn't it a type of fabric?
And Spaniards,
or am I just being
that's
really
something
thick?
Different. They come from Madrid. Anyway, we have one more video which we need to play in. Why am I leaning forward like
don't
this?
know.
As if this is really urgent. Because I actually move away from the microphone. We have one more video to play in, ladies and gentlemen. What the hell
Bernie?
is it? Yes, Bernie! Bernie! Now, Bernie was a bit worried because he said there's a lot of talk in this and he was just a bit worried about it. Bernie, don't worry. We're following your thought process, which, of course, is riveting. And we love it, so don't worry about it, even if the camera is pretty much on one scene. But don't let that disturb you, because we all remember all of that stuff you told us about the River of Rother and the complicated nature of it last time. It just gets a bit more complicated, that's all.
It is now. This is going to be very complicated, but I'm standing actually at the bottom of a road called Mackerel Hill and talking to various residents of Wittersham and the surrounding areas. The reason why it's called Mackerel Hill is because while this was still the sea, or a high tide inlet of the sea, there was apparently a fishing settlement here, and one of their main catches was mackerel, which used to chase the whitebait in on the high tides apparently. I haven't been able to find any written evidence for that, to be honest with you. So there we have it. By the 1100s, 1200s, this was no longer a wide sea inlet. At high tide, yes, I think probably the sea would flow in, but this was mainly used and drained, ready to use for pastures and what have you. Where are we? This is getting very complicated, and I'm sorry about that. But I'm trying to explain it as best I can simply, but the history of the Rother is anything but simple. It was still called the Leman, we know this, until the 15th, 16th centuries. So around about the late 16th century, it was decided that the flow of the, we'll call it the Rother by then, should flow round the south side of Oxney. And so they dammed up the River Leman further along as we're looking, and they just reduced that end of the levels up there to drainage ditches and got the land suitable for agricultural use. Here's always been a different kettle of fish altogether. They've used this almost as a catchment area for flooding. Now, there was another great storm apparently in 1636 when one of the dams further up burst, and I think the decision was taken by nature. The Rother started a huge flow down here and out towards Rye. So that was it. The course of the Rother was altered for good, and it hasn't changed since, basically. But in the 1960s, as I've spoken of before, we had that great flood. And over 60 square miles, something like that, was flooded. After that, we had these new floodworks. And what they've decided to do, the fields either side of the Rother here are actually used as water catchment areas in times of flooding, because quite simply down at what is now the Scots Float sluice, they don't let the high tide in up the Rother anymore because they don't want to mix salt and fresh water. So when that sluice gate is shut, everything is backed up here along the Rother. So the fields either side is used as water catchment areas, and there's a network of these pumping stations, as you see there. They use like Archimedes screw type pumps, which eventually will pump the water out of the drains that they've built into the fields and back into the Rother when the flow is suitable. But you can see where we've had all that rain in the last few days, the Rother's now almost burst its banks, and it won't take long before it goes over the top and we see the floods in the field.
Not at all boring, Ernie. Not at all boring. It's fascinating to learn the history of a river and how it can move, and the thoughts that go into where it should go if you don't want it where it is. And very evocative with the misty atmosphere and the flooded river in front of us. So worry not.
Thank you very much.
It all comes together in the end.
Yes.
Like a natural stream of thought.
Or a river.
Or indeed
in
a
the
river.
Mist, a flooded river in the mist.
Indeed. We've had a fantastic show. We're coming up very close now to the end of the show. Goodbye. Oh, that was very close, wasn't it? Glad everyone liked the Magic Lantern show with the new talking pictures, says Colonel Craig Ratty. He doesn't think that the talking pictures will actually catch on. Probably not. Far too exciting for the ladies. And Jonathan Fox says it's fab to listen to somebody so knowledgeable. So there we are, Bernie. We're all friends here, so have no fear. The gate says...
Cry for joy.
Cry for joy. The gate is there to keep the fish out.
Ooh,
but
we have a phone call
we
to
have a
end
phone
on
call
today.
right at the end. Oh, hello. How do I get rid of that?
Oh, I don't know. What is that? How they go?
Sorry about that. We're a bit late answering the phone because something happened on the thing that we didn't like. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Sean James Cameron from London. I've only got 2% on my phone left.
Oh no, 2%ing.
2%. Go ahead.
So I just want to say thanks for organising such a great event on the weekend, and look forward to the next one. Thank you and good night.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that, Richard Suggett?
I didn't.
Facebook podcast.
Podcast.
You were being thanked for organising that.
The Richard Suggett podcast.
And thank you very much, Sean, for the phone call to let us know that you're grateful for the organisation.
And the
And I pass all that on to Richard Suggett. Thank you very much for organising such a lovely day.
Yes, there we are. We had a lovely. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we must now thank you for watching the show this evening on a Monday. Tomorrow's video, yes, there is a video tomorrow. This week, the videos from the Bald Explorer, our sister channel, is every other day. I needed it took me 6 hours to edit tomorrow's video and 6 hours to edit the what?
Do you know what you need?
What?
You need one of those massage chairs to sit in while you're editing, so it kind of rubs your back.
What I need is an editor. That would be easier.
All that.
Nobody does it. Nobody does it the way.
Oh, excellent. Veg Grower Podcast, aka Richard Suggett, has plans for more walks as well.
Oh,
wonderful!
That would be marvellous. We'd keep in touch. Yes, we want to do some more walks, and what we found very useful, as I said earlier in the show, was videoing the walk beforehand, so that you guys can see it and see if you want to go on it, which I think worked really well. And by the way, it was lovely that everybody. We had so many people. There was 35, 36 of us on that walk. That is a record. So we don't really want many more. It was
actually quite overwhelming, wasn't it?
Yeah,
pulling into the car park, thinking we were arriving on time, but there was confusion about what time to start. So there was people there from 10, people there from 9:30 even, but I think that was just because of the bus they had to catch. But yes, pulling into the car park, and it's like, whoa, loads of faces several faces we recognised, and some we didn't, but.
And some we didn't expect to be there.
All looking at us with wide eyes and waving at us, and I was going, oh, hi.
And I thought because we were in the van, we could sneak in, no one would see us. But yes. We did. Everybody enjoyed the van. I believe that Sean James Cameron is going to put out a video in which he interviews me and shows the walk, more importantly, on his channel at some juncture. Not quite sure when, but we look forward to seeing that in the next few days, I imagine.
Jackie thinks it was more than 3 miles.
It shouldn't really have been more than 3 miles because we paced it out on on Bing Maps or on Google Maps. You can measure the distance, and we did measure the distance. If you took it from the railway station, which is the official walk, it is over 3 miles. It's something like 3.5 or 3 3/4, something like that. But we measured it from the.
Honestly?
Yeah, honestly.
Would I lie to you?
Yes, but on this occasion, no. We measured it from the car park down to the BHBS, whatever it was called, the FBI. What was
RSPB?
it? The BBC. Yes, the one. The acronym about the little flappy things that fly. And back again, and it came out to...
Royal Society for the Protection of Birds.
Yeah, 1.5 miles there and 1.5 miles back. That makes 3 miles.
Suggett says the maps say 1.5 miles there and 1.5 back.
So it may have felt longer because we were walking...
just be glad you didn't come... Well, not that it wasn't a bad one, but it was tough. It was tough going on the...
the Everest trip. Big please you didn't do that.
No, Lee Dallen's farm.
Which is the one that Mallory didn't quite make. Mallory. Wasn't that Everest? Mallory didn't... Is Mallory still up there? Colonel Cragratty will know. He was a climber, wasn't he? Old Mallory. And people walked past him. I think it's Everest, isn't it? Everest? He's now having a rest forever. I can't remember whether he came back or not, but he failed, didn't he? But anyway, Jackie said it was great, so that's all that matters. Did you charge people to sit in the van? I didn't. You
should have.
No, you don't.
Of course not.
Everest, says Colonel Cragratty. There we are. Mallory and Everest. But I can't remember. Did he come back? Do let us know.
I don't know. But Everest does have a rather macabre...
found Mallory a few years ago, I think, says Colonel Cragratty. Oh, well done.
Oh, right.
It's
not him personally.
Oh. They found him. I did know if you go online and you look at some of these pictures, you can see that there are some of the climbers from the past whose bodies are still there and exposed. The corpses.
What do they call that section? Oh, I used to know because I can be a bit morbid and I go on.
They found his body. Yeah, there we are. I didn't think I was talking complete
They believe
rubbish.
they found his body.
Yeah, they believe they found his body. It's
very difficult to get to them, though, isn't it? So that hence they get left there because...
Especially the ones that...
You could lose more lives by going to rescue the...
What do they call those ravines that go on forever when they fall down?
Abyss?
Yes. If they fall into the abyss, it's very hard to see them. I wonder what's at the bottom of the abyss. Mallory and Irving never came back, says Colonel Cragratty. I mean, cheaper than a divorce. But there we are. Anyway...
2013, says Audrey Forbes.
2013. Gosh, early then. Time to finish the show.
Crevasse.
There we are. Crevasse, abyss, ravine.
I like the thought of climbing Everest, but I think I would have to make sure that was the last thing I ever tried to do from my bucket list if I had a bucket list.
Do it on your 101st birthday.
Why not?
with that thought, we thank you very much. Thanks to all our contributors for the wonderful videos. Thank you for tuning in and being part of the show, this wonderful community that we try and do to keep you entertained. Tomorrow, a video at 4 o'clock in the morning if you're up for it. 25 minutes, long format, great fun. Maybe no content in it, but it is good. I know, I put it together. And we'll see you here Wednesday, 8 o'clock. Thanks to Julia and the amazing Bubbles. But that's it from us. Take care and bye-bye.
Bye.